I was still eating. I haven't finished the... Look at that enormous steak. The other passengers have an alibi, so I suppose you have no problem with them, I suppose. I think I did I suppose twice there, but I will. No. Compliant, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forward at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I am supposed you're quite certain of what you saw, enough to give testimony. Of course, I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying little small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with a click, click, click. From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. And I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone. A laptop organizer I can see, but that seems kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All of it produces it ugly sounds. How many speeches has your Prime Minister had? Fair enough. Anyway, I know what I saw. Mr. Nero. Yes. I was wondering if I might be granted to make permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little matter of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like that sound of that. Fox in a duck pen. Yes, I think that's how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proving earlier. And if I'm given a chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there is a good chance that some evidence can be destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved! Please, Mr. LeBlanc. In an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain and the captain alone. Now, please wait here while I ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. You are planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha! We will see! Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene. What? Unbelievable! I am in your debt, Mr. Nero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I am still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this reassurance is enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, blah 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 blah. It's time to head to the scene of crime, the first floor lounge. See that person there? In like standing asleep at her feet? We'll get to her. We'll get to her. I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think that your standing with me has changed. I see. I will bear that in mind. Yeah. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if you feel you're not making progress. And when we do, he asked that you would please return to your seat at that time. So, my time runs out at his discretion and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before your time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between these two classes, and the first class without a staff keycard. We found no record of a keycard being used at all. Which means I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed this crime scene since the murder was discovered earlier. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 AM and 6:15 AM. During that interval, only person in the lounge was myself, which will make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Higgs, it means the killer was around here somewhere. If you have to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business would be to gather information to win your trust. Yeah, Manfred is, yeah. Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. It has been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It is terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I finally started searching for gas valves to shut off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. This toppled over chair is a victim of turbulence. Oh no! Look at all that grape juice sailing in the back. It may not look like it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was? Yes, it was used when the rocker pals came on tour on this plane. I see him. What do you need, Pix? What is it? I just need to check on something here because I have a feeling that... Wow, it didn't... Grape juice. Grape juice. I don't know. It's like Oh, I'm sorry, but what are these rocker pals? I can't believe you never heard of them. They're all the rage. The rocker pals are an extremely popular international band. Yeah, we've just barely started with this case and I'm already done with it. They added a pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens. Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I'll have to take a gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. This grand piano is a pride of this plane. it can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive. That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box. Ah, but it crests its keys depressed along with the music, as though there really is someone playing it. Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, well, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Well, then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them? I don't know, but it looks like a rather one-sided conversation. The clouds, they tell me nothing. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. By the way, how is like the game audio compared to me? Because I changed the sound setting a little bit again. So, is it too loud or? Good. I'll be asking that a lot going forward, I think, because I don't have monitors on my headset, at least not that is representative of whatever's going on here. I should though. Let's see, I'm gonna just turn on the monitoring here and there we go. Yeah, I can barely hear myself at all in my headset, which is a little unfortunate. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicion I have about you. I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. Okay, so let's go to the elevator and clean up this one. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard. So, the only floors accessible to the passengers are the first and second, huh? What is this sinister-looking figure on this floor here? Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. iFly. It's just one of those pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition, so it's so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been a murder weapon? Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. So what's this here then? I wonder what's hanging off this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now, if only I could fit my finger on it. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator of this flight. You were not incorrect, but then this could be one of those fancy what is it, 747s? Those enormous jumbos. I have no idea how large those things are. So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yeah, you're not wrong, Peg. Yes, she's trembling. Although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right here. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's all over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. I don't think there's anything else here then. It might be. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a dead man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Do you think it's worth investigating? It would appear this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps the Master of the Oblivious would be more fitting. Befitting. What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of Airlines, Mr. Hugo Ifly. The one on the left was when he was in his 40s, and the other is in his 80s. Did the man actually age in the span of 40 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. I was hoping to get one of its bottles. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! Oh, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in this scene? We have footprints.
Take that!
What is it? A very little smudge, but I think we both agree that a set of footprints. So, you think? Yes, these belong to our killer. Then, maybe we should check the shoe size of everyone in first class? I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, that's the wrong way to go about it. I always go for that one. I always do. Spilled grape juice in a pool at my feet. Unfortunately, the delightful scent of grapes is obfuscated by the unpleasant smell of the crime scene. A scent in the air. It's the same smell as my towels after they come out of my home dryer. I would have expected something like that by looking at you. I suppose everyone has something unpleasant about them. The inside shop is just beyond these shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. It's still a bit close from here in this lounge. I must be running vigilant. Is there anything else that sticks out? This door leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of woman's perfume. One would think the perfume would smell great, however, to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies beyond this door. Perhaps we should return to investigation, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. There are a few copies of the Sky magazine in this magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know the participle. Now. Please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. Oh, Edgeworth, never change. There's this bottle underneath here, though. Nope. A pity that a bronze statue knows not when good drink has been spilled at his feet. It's a statue of founder Mr. Hugo Iffy, who was a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he'd be thrilled that if he knew that so much grape juice was there here at his feet. It's a hint of hero worshipping I detect. Welcome back, Mina. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Miss Tomato. Yes, I can't help but notice the sad atmosphere in here. Oh well, we're just gonna have to sit tight, I guess. Yes. It was a rather tragic crime. I'll say, robbing the poor man after bludgeoning him to death, and talk about robbing and assault. I can't forgive what someone would do such to a passenger of mine. I swear as a professional flight attendant, I will capture the culprit with my own two hands. And I promise the prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over the leads I have gathered all this time. Nope. I don't want to do this. Because we already know this. Yeah, regular Tuesday. I'm gonna blast through this here. Because we basically had this, like, said already. I pinky swear I do on my honor as a professional prosecutor. I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. I think there's something else here that I might have missed. Actually, maybe there was something on his hands. There's some money, I think. This thing's pocket. There's something sticking out of his pocket. I hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken from inside of a building somewhere. And we shall deduce. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yes, it is. Eureka! Eureka! Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Tenero. Oh, I guess because it's not here? Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. So... Do we have anything else we can use in logic right now? We do not. Was it blood? What was that corners? Could this pig have been a murder? I thought there was something else on this one though. I suppose this is where you insert your coins. I would say for a piggy bank it's made rather well. So well in fact that I'm not sure there's a way to take your money out. Yes, pigs? Hello, Callie. How are you? And good morning. I hope you have slept well, or have you slept? Oh, you haven't? Then what are you doing here?
Going to bed. You're disconnecting a lot, by the way.
In what sense? What do you mean disconnecting a lot?
It lags a lot in this.
Yeah, wait, am I dropping a lot of frames? No, I'm not. I'll drop 3%, no, 0.3% my frames. Let's see, but yeah, just a regular Tuesday. Let's see.
Hello, Colleen.
So 6. So there's this. Here is the time span. Departure time zone. Let's see. Crime scene. Anything else? No, I don't think there's anything. Okay. Huh? The Flash bastard? What? No, we're playing Miles Edgeworth. Prosecutor extraordinaire. Yes, Miles Edgeworth is awesome. All the prosecutors in the original trilogy are awesome. Let's see. Nope, we have this one. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else about him.